karts and stars of the D&Q karting series are getting ready to race as Jeremy Morris is here. He's back in action for tonight's Auto Lube and Repair Series race from the No Bridge Speedway here in Salisbury, North Carolina. Should be a very exciting race. 2 races to go in the season, and the points battles are just starting to heat up. Let's go down and talk to some of the contenders that are battling for a championship. Well, down here with Team Reaper, Ronnie Shirk and Mike Rout, and both of you guys are going for championships. Ronnie, you decided to opt into the Arca Championship. Was this easy pickings for you to try to run for that championship here?
I hope so, but the plan was to run the war season, but with the rain happening for the fair and then my work schedule, I had to do it. So it might be cherry picking. I think we got a good cart to run with all these guys. All the top 20 that made it in the war season, like I'm racing with the nobodies, and I'm one of them. So hopefully we can pull off a win tonight. So let's see what we got.
Yeah, with all that competition taken out of that series, it'll be interesting to see a first-time winner, or maybe you to win this race. And then we talked to Mike Rout. Mike, really close in the cup points. Chris Bailey has had a really bad 2 races. We're not dropping any more races tonight, so it's pretty much game on here for the rest of the season. How do you feel your chances are to win?
We've been pretty consistent all year, I feel like, me and Bailey both, and it was whoever was going to have a bad race it was going to happen. So right now I just feel like we just need to keep doing what we were doing, try to get the top 5, top 3, we'll win if we can, but just hold on, see where it goes.
How do you feel these track conditions are going to play into your hands tonight? It looks like it's dry on the front stretch, but wet on the back stretch like usual.
Yeah, we went out there and walked around. I feel like the track's going to get really fast like it did a few races ago, but I've got confidence in Jeremy that it'll be good.
Do you guys share notes, Ronnie? Are there any note sharing going on between the two, or you can't do it because of the speeds?
I'm too drunk to even share notes, so we do a lot of garage racing, but we're usually drinking.
Drinking in the garage is what D&Q is all about. These two trying to win championships by drinking in the garage. Always good to see practice going on here for the D&Q Series karts. And these guys got all these Predator engines, JZ. And what we love about National Championship Series is the best of the best. But we also know when it's playoff time that we're going to go to the D&Q Tech Garage. And we know these guys are starting to play around with a couple things. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and point out something that might be going on with some of these engines out there, JZ. All right, JZ, let's take a look at our D&Q engine that we have here today. It's our Predator engine scaled model. Tell us about what some of these guys may be doing.
So it's designed to be the same out of the box for everybody, but guys are trying to find a way to beat the system, so to speak. Everyone's trying to find an advantage, and one of the things you can do that's sneaky is play with the exhaust a little bit. So as we look at the backside of the engine here, there's different screens in that exhaust pipe that help muffle the noise and keep the dBs down. As you pull those screens out, or some people will drill them out, you get more flow, you get more horsepower, and the tech man doesn't always think to look there. So keep that in the back of your mind as you're watching competition tonight.
Well, we just talked to Mike Rout, who is close in the Cup Series Championship. Another driver that has made his way closer is Mark Ellis. Mark, 40 points back from the lead. Very achievable because we're not dropping races anymore. So where you finish is where you finish. How do you feel about your chances to make a run at this championship?
I mean, anything can happen, right? We're all so close. It's like pro stock racing out here. So depending on who gets into who is going to determine where everything shakes out. And every race, the standings are going to change. So I've got a pretty good feeling because I'm not the one with the target on my back. So you're always looking forward. And like I said, there's great competition out here. So you never know what can happen. You just got to make sure your bolts are tight and do what you can.
Yeah, Chris Bailey's had 2 really bad races. James Stanley driving for him tonight as a sub-driver in that role. I mean, do you feel like the aggression's going to ramp up here these last 2 races?
I mean, I thought it was pretty high all season, but yeah, definitely. Like the passion comes out. We're all trying to aim for the same target, right? You have house guys out here that work for a manufacturer that we're trying to compete with, and the pressure's on for everybody. Top 5 is so close. We all want the same thing, and we're all going to fight for it because our dumbasses aren't going to let each other go,
Well, this Escape Pool Cup Series Championship is going to come down to the wire here for these last 2 races. Mark Ellis hoping to take home that old Winston Cup trophy. We'll see how Mark Ellis can do in that championship hunt, along with Adam Welsh in that SKE go-kart. Well, we will be right back after this message with the National Championship feature.
Sunday, we believe in putting on our best. Maybe that's why no car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR than Chevrolet.
The SRI Pole Award is given out to the fastest qualifier, but since we heat raced, Ryan Ayers with a 21 flat, which I don't even think that is the correct time, he's going to start on the pole. And this is how these karts lined up at the Iredell County Fair, so this will be the makeup for that race.
Yeah, these guys racing on a completely different racetrack. Still, we're going to count points. Forget it. Like, if you were good over there, hopefully you're good here. We'll see if those SKEs have the same speed here at Millbridge as they did over at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, we're back to home field for some of these guys that are starting third, fourth row back. Oliverio, my pick, and DraftKings here. Ben Murphy, another stalwart. We'll see if being back in familiar turf helps these guys find the speed we're accustomed to seeing them have.
Yep.
And pretty exciting here, Bill. This is the National Championship Series, which is a top 10 from Busch and Pro Cup, going for a 3-race playoff for the championship here to win this battle. I mean, who do you think is going to win it, Busch or Pro Cup?
It's so hard because there were such good players in both series. So when they come together, I don't think we've seen a clear, stronger series yet. Kind of just as we expected.
Yeah, we had guys that were very talented choose Busch thinking it would be easier, as I'm using air quotes here. And so both series are stout as we're in Kyle's box, and we're green here, heading down the front straightaway, charging into one.
Yeah, you say home field advantage. It's everybody's home track now, and some people that were good at the Iredell County Fairgrounds may have not changed their setup here, Bill, and now they're back here running the regular Millbridge. I don't think some of these guys changed their setup at all, as they're on board in the rear entry cam of Alex Lasagna.
Yeah, he was my pick. I mean, that thing plowed its ass off over at the fairgrounds, so it's probably tuned in pretty darn good here for Millbridge. Hopefully he didn't touch it. But one guy I want to point out is Ben Murphy, who was way back at the fairgrounds. I think, Bob, that was maybe your pick. You might get some big passing points here.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. This is some great footage right here watching from the back of Alex Lasagna's kart. He is in third as Chris Allison leads this field. Or no, he doesn't. He is in second. And, man, we're 3 wide already towards the back of the pack.
Big battles going on back there as we see Cross Thread going 3 wide there. Jeremy Morris hanging tough on the outside there. He's got some laps around here. My boy Lasagna shoving. He's looking for that 4th spot. Lasagna got a really, really nice paint job. That thing looking slick. And I don't know why he leans over that left rear tire so damn much. He's probably got to have about 51% cross because he's got 900 pounds on that left rear.
See, now this is the best of the best, and they are 4 wide in the back of the pack. That is just amazing racing with these guys as the caution is out. There's debris on the front stretch, so we're going to go ahead and clean that up, get back going again. Johnny Kidwell will take the bottom with Ryan Ayers on the outside, and Ayers has just gotten hot all of a sudden, Jay-Z, especially in the Dash Series towards the end of this season.
Yeah, he's been picking it up. We've called his name a whole lot here as Kidwell and Ayers are still side by side. Ayers catches that hot fart. They're banging fenders. They're not leaving each other any room. As a win here is for the national championship. But really, everyone is a must-win situation right now with only 3 races. You can't afford to have a bad race. We're 3 wide for second place here. Folks, wave at them. This is a good show for you. Getting what you paid for.
Austin Compton to the inside of Alex Lacanada, and you know those two don't like each other, so they're going to race each other extremely hard, especially for a championship, as Alex is going to sneak away there to the 4th place.
He grabs that 4th spot, but not for long. I don't know who's in that white car. I can't really see straight right now, but he's going to take it right back. Lasagna turns it down underneath him. He gets back to his inside. Lasagna, if he's got a sack on him, he's going to drive it in till he can't see Jesus anymore. He does. He takes that 4th spot back. My boy Lasagna, get me some passing points.
Yeah, we're talking about a bottle of whiskey up here in the booth. It's definitely a pretty serious competition.
I'm going to need one after this race.
Lasagna skates away. John Kidwell. Thomas Markham up in the loose stuff. Man, and that's another driver who's really turned his season around to be able to make it. And we're still 3 wide here with Stroop and Jeremy Murphy in the Faulkner machine. Or is that Ray Thies? It's hard to tell. They all look the same from up here, especially after a couple drinks.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Speaking of not looking the same, Brian Shaw is way in the back with the rest of the start and park contingent here in the D&Q series. I'm really disappointed. I have him as one of my DraftKings picks. I thought he'd be doing better, as I think he falls back to just about dead last.
Crossfed Craig Smith, Jeremy Murphy. Jeez. Or Jeremy Morris. Jeremy Morris and Crossthread throwing hand signals at each other as we're watching Ayers and Lasagna just absolutely beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, I got to give it to Lasagna. He hasn't been up front nearly as much as Ayers has, and he's holding his own.
Green flag, Chris Allison leads this field with Kidwell on the outside and his brother Anthony as well. Along with Lasagna, Ayers gets a little sideways there. Maybe it was a little arrow effect there from Austin Compton.
Yeah. Little arrow loose right there. Lasagna trying to take that 2nd spot away.
Doing a great job. He's working over John Kidwell. Kidwell going to take the air off his door, try to get him arrow tight with the side draft. They're working the side draft pretty hard here, Bill, as Kidwell cannot clear Lasagna. Just so pesky in there on the inside.
Yeah, Lacanana's going to have to drive a tight ship here. He's got the Kidwell contingent here all over him, inside, outside, and behind. He's doing a good job to hang on, but he's got to be careful to make sure he doesn't get double teamed here.
Yeah, they got the Kidwell brothers there in 3rd and 4th as the white flag is out. And unfortunately for Chris Allison, his engine after these features was found illegal. So Alex Lacanata, coming off the corner, is going to take the win in the first feature here tonight. Let's go down and talk to him.
Alex Lasagna down here. I'm announcing too many people, man. I had to drink a monster before I come here. Well,
make you feel a lot better.
Yeah, looks like you might need a little Parmesan to give this Lasagna a little extra kick here. Only a 3rd place finish for you.
2nd place, but it was a pretty good run, and just got to thank all the boys back at the shop, and this Sheldon Creed-owned Zane Smith-sponsored ride was really good, and it still doesn't hurt to be Eddie's little buddy when you run this series. So see what we have for him in the 2nd one.
Well, looks like he knows his shit, and I don't. 2nd place finish here for the Mr. Lasagna. I prefer spaghetti, by the way.
I want to take it off.
Well, Kidwell leaving the helmet on so we don't feel ashamed, because just like maybe when the lights are off, coming up a little bit short here in this race.
Yeah, we kind of missed it there on air. We had a good run. Running 2nd there, I felt like we can keep up with Ayers there, and then the restarts always kind of get everybody jumbled up, and you stack everybody up, and it's all about track position, and especially in this series. So, but all in all, a good run. I thank KPG, John Kinder, Jim Kinder, and we'll go getting ready to go out in the USAC in a champ buggy. So let's see if we can put that in victory lane as well.
We'll go run up there for you guys. It's going to be a quick cut.
SRI Pole Award for the USAC Series. We'll go to Kyle Beatty with a 12.421. SKE continuing their dominance here in the Fit Stop Performance USAC Series. He will be on the front row with Adam Welsh.
2 SKEs. Stephen Broy coming back after a big flip at the fairgrounds, starting in the 2nd row.
Yeah, we got Kidwell and Clint King in the next row.
Another Kidwell and Tautujas in the next row.
Skip Flores and Zach Thompson.
Kevin Crucifoli and Mark Durgan.
That was pretty good with that. Ivan Gumstad. Sure. Nice to see you.
Pray for Ukraine.
I saw a Ukraine bumper sticker on somebody's car today, and I was like, man, that is just really helping that conflict out there by having that.
We saw that and said, we must withdraw.
Yeah. They just any way they could support, just slap that sticker on the back of the car. Change your Facebook profile picture.
Coexist.
Nothing says vote left than a vaccine profile picture and a Ukraine sticker on your car.
Double jabbed up.
All right. Watch your neck.
Right.
We're underway. For the Pit Stop Performance USAC Series feature, Beatty and Welsh have really been the story of this series, but Stephen Broy, been a story that we're watching develop as we are destroyed off of turn 3 and 4. Started with Talges. I mean, he was free. I mean, Kingan had no choice but to hit him. That was not Kingan's fault. Talges stepped on the pepperoni there. Durgan getting some heavy right front contact. Unbelievable.
Is that Skip in that white and black cart?
It is.
Looking backwards? That's a nice looking go-kart.
It is. It's basically a go-kart with a roll cage on it, unlike some of these buggies. But, yeah. You can see how narrow the cage is.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking midget.
Yeah, it's work in progress in the rule book there as we're back green with Talges looking a little tight now. And as we were saying, Stephen Broy, who's been running really good lately, someone we're watching develop into a race car driver who I'm not really sure we thought was ever going to be the case with him.
Yeah, race car driver and Stephen Broy, two words that you don't necessarily think of together at the same time. But he's really, after spinning on his lid and getting in about 45 regs at the fairground, really settled down. You know, his driver coach, Ernie Irvin, who was very good back in the day, looks like it's definitely paying off for him.
Knows a thing or two about coming back after flipping or destroying something, correct?
Yeah, 100%.
We got Connerito spoiling the SKE party up front. He's got the bad kitty and Beatty separated. He's the meat and the sandwich here. Running a little bit lower line off of 4. Doesn't quite carry the speed, but I'm interested to see what the stopwatch says between his line and everyone else. As Beatty gets underneath him to see Connerito shoves the nose. Is Beatty going to clear him off of 4? They're side by side. Beatty takes over P2 as they cross the stripe.
Bill, one thing I want to point out is I just watched Beatty cross the wake of Contarino and still cut. I mean, he's doing a lot of time in the wind tunnel as Welsh has blown that bitch up, and he's going to go ahead and park it. But I just watched him cross the air wake, and he was able to still cut underneath him. It must be all those aero tricks.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the CFD department over there really runs a lot of drafting studies, and most of the time you don't get anything out of them, but maybe that SKE group knows what they're doing more than the 4,000 aero engineers in NASCAR. So got to give it to them, and you know, maybe they can pull some of those CFD guys to be their mesh bitches one day.
In the pits earlier this evening, I saw them messing with a shark fin on the side of that car. I'm wondering if when that wake cuts out, that shark fin goes to work and really helps stabilize the platform on entry. As we got Skip on the inside of Beatty. Skip coming out of nowhere. He was running back 5th or 6th just a few laps ago. He's coming to try to fight for the lead.
Jay-Z, I've heard urban legend of Bill Elliott driving a car at Daytona or Talladega. It was actually a smaller car. It was, let's say, if it's a 1-to-1 scale, or a 1-to-2 scale. And I think that's what Skip's got going on there. That looks like a very small buggy.
He does. Allegedly, that Bill Elliott car was narrowed up 2 inches on each side. They literally cut the middle of the car out and made it narrow so it would punch a shorter hole in the air. And I think that's what Skip's working with right now. Everything's kind of concentrated over the driver, punching a smaller hole in the air. So that 16, 17 horsepower on that clone goes a lot farther.
Especially here on a big track like Millbridge, you keep that sucker wide open. And you know that Skip Flores got the kahunas to leave that on the wood as he leads the field now, coming all the way from the back.
Be interested to see what happens at this 5-to-go caution. But Mike Contarino, again, doing a really good job here in this USAC series. He's one of those drivers, man, if he really applies himself, he can be very good.
As long as he keeps all 4 tires on the ground, he might have some great success here before long.
Top 3 kind of checked out. Flores, Beatty, and Contarino. Welsh blew up on the inside of the racetrack. And we're talking about points. I mean, it's getting pretty interesting in the points battle here for Adam Welsh and Kyle Beatty. So probably put him somewhere around 12-point advantage over Adam Welsh.
Yeah, I mean, but really, all the points still go to that SKE camp. So it's like, you know, if Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon wins, does Mr. H actually care? No. In this case, Kyle Beatty's going to take home the money no matter what.
5 to go. See what happens. Welsh going to push that thing back to the garage and see what happened there with the engine. As we go back green, we'll see if Skip Flores can hold off Kyle Beatty in the last couple laps.
Skip Flores out to the lead again early. Kyle Beatty trying to stay hot on his tail. But right now the battle is for third between Connerino and somebody that I can't see. Because most of my winning bottle of whiskey gone. Connerino's able to grab that last podium spot.
John Kidwell into fourth. And Kinder Performance Group getting a little bit better here. It seemed like last year they were very good. This year they kind of tapered off at the beginning of the year, found some things wrong, and they're starting to make their way back. And it's racing. There's always development and innovation, as there is 2 to go for Ryan Flores.
Skip's still out there, but under fire from Kyle Beatty. Beatty really drove it in 3 and 4 that time. Doctor's coat's out. Beatty giving it all he's got. You see him slipping that right rear, burning it up. He's diving it in. Skip Flores right through the middle. Donnie Schatz takes the checkered.
Well, Beatty, you led most of the race, got by Welch there. Second place finish. I guess he had some of them Penske engineers working on that thing.
Yeah, he had her tuned up real good. I don't know what happened to brother-in-law there, Adam. He had the lead. I was pretty content just hanging out with Mike, second and third. We were looking like we had the 1-2-3 thing going on for a while, and then all of a sudden Adam slowed down and pulled in the infield. I don't know what happened to him. Hate that for him. I've had a couple DNFs this year, and it just sucks. So, you know, Mike and I rallied. We ended up second and third, so that was good. I thought we had something for Flores. He was just a little too strong.
All right, Beatty ends up second place finish here with the USACs. Well, Mike Contarino, third place finish, man. You and Beatty, y'all thought y'all had it covered till Skip, like out of nowhere, quicker than a hiccup, blew by both of you.
Yeah, Skip had that thing. It was on rails for sure, and he passed me on the bottom, and I had nothing for him. And I was hoping him and Beatty would battle each other so I could catch up and steal something, but he got the better of Beatty.
Like a usual NASCAR interview, good points day, huh?
Good points day. That's what we're looking for. SKE 1, 2, 3 in points.
Good points day here for Contarino here to D&Q.
Finish line Wash Pro's Dash Series, Jonathan Stewart. 12,400. There you go on the SRI pole. Kind of new to D&Q racing, so.
Yeah, also a running back for the Panthers. Bobby Showtime, Brian Ryan Ayers, and Dan Marat.
You'd never think that they had an Amish dude as a running back for the Carolina Panthers, but there he is. He just handing the ball, and he'll make you some nice wood furniture, and he'll run that thing 90 yards. Finish line Wash Pro's Series.
Outside the tour here, he had a miserable fair race. Hopefully he has a little bit better luck here this evening as we look at Chris Allison, who won last time out, and my boy Brian Shaw. Pick it up.
Yeah, gotta love the Dash Series. Small tires all the way around. Small treads. And this is weird. I mean, if you're across the country, go, why would these guys even bother with this? Well, it's just something else to do because nobody likes to run. Nobody likes to run the same shit at different weights, and that's just what it is. I mean, there's a whole nother setup that goes into this thing, right, Jay-Z? I mean, cambers, wedge. There's a whole different setup. You cannot run the same kart in both series and expect to be decent as Showalter as an onboard.
You really have to wholesale it because that change in stagger, missing those 2 inches, the 1.5 inches to 2 inches in the right rear, story of my life, really changes how the weight presents itself, how the weight jacks in the turn. So you have to wholesale the whole go-kart if you really want to maximize performance and not just be, okay in 2 classes, but be a contender in both.
Story of your race.
Poor thing.
If she's 2 inches bigger in the back and you're shorter in the front, it's not going to work.
No, it does not.
Yeah, yep. Here we go. Blaine Donahue driver I'd like to highlight while he's up in the top 5. Doing an amazing job as a rookie in this Dash Series. Pretty good candidate for Rookie of the Year as we watch these guys barrel down. That's one of my favorite shots that we do here in D&Q. And he's done a great job all year. Patrick Donahue, his father, does a great job crew chiefing as well in the Xfinity Series. And looks like they got their kart program figured out pretty well.
Yeah, Jen Welsh in that 71, she's got her shit together too. That whole camp over there has really figured something out here, not only at Millbridge, but at the fairgrounds as well. As Jen Welsh, who sometimes has good runs, but normally runs around mid-pack. She's running top 5 right now. And we saw her husband run up front all night long over at the fairgrounds and has run up front here tonight as well.
Let's go on board with Showalter as we'll do a little D&Q split screen. Watch him battle for the lead with Jonathan Stewart, who is running really hard just like he does on Sundays for the Panthers, and looks like he does fairly well in a little bit of a higher line. Showalter trying to run off there a little bit, JZ.
Yeah, you want to offset that nose to keep that clean air on the left front, keep it planted, keep the platform stable. But Stewart up top there, his cart looks stout. It's not moving, it's not sliding. He's keeping his momentum up. And as soon as I say that, Showalter starts showing him the right front down low. We got a battle brewing for the lead, and I think that's Mrak in the 63 gaining a few spots. He's trying to make his name heard too.
Bit of a missed opportunity there, Bob. That needs to be called the D&Q double fist, not the D&Q split screen.
You know what? Graphics about to change for the fall final. D&Q double fist. Ayers got shuffled there a little bit by Blaine Donahue and Jen Welsh. As he's going to get slid back a little bit. And you know what that happens in these D&Q races? You slide up, you think, all right, I'm going to settle back in right behind this guy. And then there's 4 people behind you in line to just take your spot away. And that's what just happened to Ryan Ayers.
Who's in the 71?
Ryan Ayers. Jen Welsh is right in front of him.
Jen Welsh is in the 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see him break that side draft.
They're both in the same camp.
Yeah. You see these guys break the side draft there getting into one. It's pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah. Flying Ryan Ayers giving Jen Welsh a slide job right across the chin. As Tattooges tries to shove her.
See?
She's going to talk to me next race.
All right, well. Showalter's leading Jonathan Stewart. Showalter's leading Jonathan Stewart right now. Jonathan Stewart, a rookie. Will probably be a rookie next year. I don't know if he's run enough races to be considered full-time here in the Dash Series. Bobby Showtime looking for a championship, his first Dash Series championship. He's going to be about 100 points up right now as it stands. Doing a great job here as well. And he's a veteran, but even he has admitted at times that he's running too many series here in D&Q and he needs to focus on a few.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that was my problem all through college as well. So I feel you, bro.
It kind of sucks thrashing at the racetrack, working on one cart in 3 different classes or 2 or 3 different classes. We're back to the D&Q double fist here. Watching Bobby Showtime work, you really can't put a ton of time into all of them, enough to do well when you're spread that thin. If you have crew guys, if you want it done right, sometimes you just got to do it yourself. And running 3 go-karts with 3 classes is tough to do, so maybe he's onto something here, just trying to focus a little bit as he negotiates lap traffic, feeding him the right front, getting him out of the way, hoping Stewart doesn't get him on the outside as he comes up to our 5 to go.
Back underway here for Showalter. Trying to hold off Jonathan Stewart, who does the right thing and doesn't left rear him. That opens the door for Ayers, and we have got some people parked off of 2. We stay green. Showalter back to lead. Oh, Jen Welsh was having such a good night. Misses bad, kitty. Tough break for Jen. You don't like to see that at all. Showalter. Here comes Ryan
what kind
Ayers.
of fucking lineup this is. It looks like the damn Carolina Panthers.
Back green. They stayed in line till they crossed the line. Looks like Ayers is on the inside of Showalter.
Where did Tattooges come from?
Line. My goodness, this is a great battle here at the end of this race.
Shoving. Tautuj is trying to get on the podium. He's inside right now, trying to shove Flying Ryan Ayers. As he does, gives him a bump into 3. That's going to push Ayers out to the lead right now. Bobby Showtime. Is that Bobby Showtime?
Second.
Yeah, Bobby Showtime goes back to the inside of Flying Ryan Ayers. These two have had some run-ins earlier before. We know they don't really like each other. That was Showtime by a nose. Couple laps left. They're side by side. We see Flying Ryan Ayers take a look over at him at the backstretch, maybe turn left a little bit. I have no idea who won that race.
Let's take a look at the it looks like Showalter's letting Ayers have it there on the backstretch. Let's look at this again. This last lap one more time, Jay-Z.
They're side by side, and this is just good, hard racing. The only thing I didn't see was Ryan Ayers reach out and grab his side panel and try to slow him down. We're side by side here, Rubbin coming off of 4. We slow it down. It looks like Ayers gets him by a nose.
Well, Ryan Ayers is going to have to drink him a beer to cool down because he is hot down here. He won, but he's still pissed off. A little bit of jawing there between you and Showalter to say.
That is what it is. Restart with 3 or 4 to go. Try to keep it tight on him, and to me that wasn't dirty, but evident to him it is. So is what it is. We got the win. Josh Long got back in victory land again. So pretty happy. It's one thing. Everybody helps this thing. SKE with Welch, Beatty. Everybody that helps work on these shit boxes basically.
I'd say it's one fast shit box. Shit box might ended up on his lid over there. Yeah. Talk about turn 4. You was in the wall, but you stayed in it and you won. I'd say probably about that much.
Well, if I had that much more, then be a good day.
Don't we all wish we had that much more? Ryan Ayers, winner here with a DNQ. Well, Showalter, what a hard race. But like we've always said, if every man wishes for a little bit more, you just needed that tonight.
I think we had it. I just hate these 5 to go cautions because everyone drives like a bunch of assholes on them every time. He can say all what he wanted to say. He was turning into me down the straightaways to slow me down from getting the run. But finished second. We're going to win this championship. So I'd rather win a championship in a bunch of races. It's all good.
Just rather win the war than win the fight, huh?
That's right.
Robert Showalter, second place finish here in the 5 machine. Well done here at Blaine Donahue. Man, you was running second, but you picked it outside, and well, hell, you restarted 4th. What was that about?
Yeah, I just picked the top because it was running better all night. But this is my home track. I feel pretty confident here that we can get a win here before the end of the season. So I feel pretty good about that. So we came close a couple races before and got knocked out at the Roval, but I'd say we will come pretty close to winning the race this year. So,
well, you picked the top side, fell back. You had to restart your motor about 10 times, but still good 3rd place finish for you.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the motor, but it lucked out at the end. So,
hamster just kept getting tired. You might need to feed it a little more. Blaine Donahue, 3rd place finish.
All right, this is the first race of the year for the Arca Series, and Jeremy Murphy with a 12.906 is on the pole for the Arca Series race. Now, I know a lot of people might be confused out there. When we went to the National Championship, we weren't running Busch and Pro Cup anymore. So this is the best of the rest. There are a couple guys who made 5 starts that can run for the Arca Championship, and then everybody else just piles in and tries to have fun with some dumbass named Jimmy Jingles in the starting lineup here tonight.
Riding shirt, Brandon Jones, watch out for him, sleeper.
Yeah, we got the Mooresville Outlaw with us tonight. Cody Sowles in the 21. Ethan Landers.
How's Jeremy Morris running Arca?
And she's just piling in, dude. Let's say it doesn't have to do anything with being a novice here in Arca. What it does have to do with is if you made more than 5 attempts and you ran Busch and Pro Cup and you were outside the top 10, you can run for the championship. And then the rest of the people that show up and they want to have a good race and come out and have some fun, they can run as well. So if you want to run Busch or Pro Cup next year, this is a good place to start at the end of the season with the best of the rest. We sent a lot of people home that even tried to attempt to make this race, so doing pretty good.
Feeling pretty good about my DeAndre Hopkins stash. Only in the 2nd quarter, and he's already got 8 points.
Oh, man, I need to look. I got Kyler Murray, and he disappoints me every week.
That whole team sucks right now.
Yeah, I mean, my man got suspended for 6 games for PEDs, so he's my guy. It's not like he shot himself in a nightclub.
No. Yeah. Plexico burst style, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, Mike Reimer, Jeremy Murphy took the top here, so that's a little interesting. We'll see how this plays out for him as we go green with Reimer on the inside. I am not going to know who some of these guys are. Kind of like Bill in the booth every week. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, how long have some of these guys been racing? 3 years, and I still don't know their name?
What you want to look at is like Ratchet Jaws Teasley, J.R. Norris, some of the names that we've talked about most of the year, Jeremy Murphy. These guys are all racing for the ARCA championship, and that's kind of what we're watching the most as Murphy's starting to put a clinic on. But these are the guys that made 5 attempts, didn't make it in the top 10 in points as Reimer's challenging for the lead, and they're going to run for this championship as Murphy's trying to hold them off, and we have definitely got some ARCA talented drivers in this field.
Yeah, we do. Jeremy Morris trying to make his way into some clean air. Right now, Murphy all out front, but under some pressure. I don't know who that is.
Not to
Rimmer.
Give some of the go-kart guys a hard time. Is Jeremy Morris, very talented driver, but there are some other guys that come in from the world of prep racing, and they really struggle with the treads. And this has been evolving a lot lately, and it's definitely takes away a lot of their advantages when they come in.
Yeah, when you're running those prep tires, it's the side bite's a totally different feel, right? You're leaning on that prep, you're leaning on that bite. That tire's not sliding across the racetrack. With these treads, you have to rely totally on mechanical transfer and the weight to push a tire into the racetrack, get an appropriate amount of yaw on the go-kart so you can point it and still get it drive off. It takes a little while to unlearn everything you'd learned in prep racing to try to make it here in the treads. As Reimer still fighting with who's that?
Jeremy Murphy on the outside.
Jeremy Murphy on the outside,
Jeremy Murphy
holding a pretty wheel. I'll give him credit where credit's due.
What I love about this series, Bill, is somebody new is probably going to win their first race here tonight in the ARCA series.
Yeah, and you know that party is going to be unreal. So I'm going to come down from the booth immediately following this race, probably partying up the rest of the evening there. Will not be announcing any of the other races, and will definitely not be in any shape to drive home.
Reimer throws the slider on Murphy, who's probably falling out of the seat, and he is going to get on the outside line, get that momentum, and take the lead away with Zach Fowler in second and Ratchet Jaws in third.
Ratchet Jaws, we haven't called his name too much this season. The Young Motorsports stable's been experimenting with some triple pigtail this and coil binding that, and it hasn't really panned out. I think I was talking to Tyler between beers here, and he said that they're throwing out that notebook, going back to what they know, and obviously it's working.
On board a D&Q double fist as we were watching the battle with J.R. Norris and Jeremy Morris battling it out here in the ARCA Series feature. And I don't know what to even think. Gotta love it here. As we were talking about Teasley was really good in the prep stuff, and that's another driver that's got a sharp learning curve to overcome now that he's in treads.
Yeah, but he's doing it. He's got a great life coach and a great driver coach in Tyler Young. And here we see him making hay. So he's cutting his teeth here in the ARCA Series, just as he should. Once he gets up here, wins a couple races, then he's going to move up. And he's probably going to run mid-pack to the back till he learns that talent level again and keeps moving his way up through the series. But with somebody like Tyler Young watching over you and taking somebody like Ratchet Jaws under his wing, success is in his future. There's just no avoiding it.
I talked to Tyler Young, and he's got a nice shop at his new house, and I'm sure that he allows Ratchet Jaws over to the house and have some life talks. Hey, listen, we need to go out in the lake and do this. You need to sack up and do that. And then when it comes time to race in D&Q, you need to start winning. Tough conversations being had there. As he gets hit by Morris, and that's going to slow his momentum down. And Reimer still in the lead with Fowler in second, J.R. Norris in fourth.
J.R. Norris has had some good runs in D&Q in the past. He's getting roughed up, though. The left side, left panel's getting leaned on pretty heavily here as Ratchet Jaws tries to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it, and falls back inside of the 22 right there.
That auto lube and repair machine of J.R. Norris, there have been times this year where he's had some really good runs. And that's a brand new program, first year for those guys racing. And I know that they have a couple other karts in their stable that they're figuring it out. And it's very hard in D&Q now as opposed to it used to be, as a white flag is out for Michael Reimer, who has leaned back like Fat Joe, and he is going to go ahead and take home the win in this Arca Series feature. His first D&Q win. Congratulations, Michael.
Well, Michael Reimer, first career win. Man, this must mean a lot. Your Mike can actually buy you a new jacket. That thing looks old enough to buy a beer.
Yeah, I've had this since I started racing, so. But I like to thank all my guys. You know, we worked hard on this thing and showed up back of a pickup truck and come out here and win, so pretty cool.
So drove a shit box, got pulled in a shit box, and now you got the shit box Victory Lane, make it even a faster shit box.
Yeah, I doubt it. It might get a little faster, I doubt it.
Well, you got you a win. Have you a cold one? Reimer, winner here with the D&Q Karting Series for the first time. Well, Jeremy Murphy, second place finish. He threw a slider, you threw a slider, but you just got out slidered.
Oh, yeah. I just lost a little bit of grip through 3 and 4. They was just better than me. A couple of them were. Luckily, I got the 5 to go to get at least 2 more spots back. But great racing. These guys all raced me clean the whole time. And it's nice, you know. You get out here to actually run with people that run clean. You get a little bit farther back. It's usually not that way.
Is your head okay? You're the first person that's ever said they race clean here. Man.
Well, just like we were just talking, you know, you rub a little bit, it's different. You know, you get out here and these guys, they want to plow drive you into the next county. But, hey, I'll take a second place. I'm proud. I'm not too sure he is. But I'm glad to see New Face win, and it was a great night running. Thank you.
Well, breaking news. D&Q Racing, actually clean, hard racing. Well, Zach Fowler, third place finish. Well, you did what you can do. You showed up out of nowhere. I didn't even know your name when I walked up.
Yeah, we did really good. I mean, we fired off really good starting the day, and we kind of struggled off of 2 a little bit. So we were hoping to make a little bit of change. We did a little bit of a camber change and help. So car felt really good. I think we just kind of got beat on motor just a little bit, really weight. So overall, really good night, and finally got in the top 3 after a while. So I'm really excited to see how the rest of the season goes.
Stereotypical interview like a NASCAR Cup driver. Zach Fowler here, third place finish.
Escape Pool Cup Series. The SRI poll will go to Kyle Beatty, 12-4-2-1. And that'll lock him into the All-Star race at the end of the year, as he will start on the pole with Adam Welsh. Typical story for these guys, just tearing it up this year.
Yeah, Bad Kitty doing good. Bobby Showtime up front. Tyler Sandman Sandmeyer and James Stanley. That's a row to watch here in the coming laps.
Route and a perennial favorite Scroop there. Ed Weinstein and Mike Conmarino in the next row. Ed Weinstein.
Mark Ellis, Bob Wideman.
Kyle Weatherman and Brad Lyon.
Dylan Welch
Jesus,
and Todd
Dylan's
Chaffee.
racing this shit now.
Jesse Awuzie and Curtis Markham. Dylan Freeman will round out the field. We got a stout lineup tonight for the Cup Series.
We got all the no names driving.
We got all of them. There's the Cup Series rules.
All the NDFs.
Cup Series rules for tonight's event, 410.
You have to
We'd
have,
have-
Charles get Tyler to put Charles in a go-kart. Get him out
Yeah.
here too.
Charles Lewandowski, the only NDF we're missing.
It's not bad. It's just a little tight.
Just a bad deal.
Yeah. Mike Rout.
They only shoved the front tires 4 lanes.
Yeah. I love when Charles was driving for Tyler Young and Bob Dillner interviewed him. Yeah, I'm just trying to help Tyler sharpen the learning curve here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's pretty fun. We'll go double. Let's go double fisting for this start of this race here, so you can see exactly what Mike Rout's seeing, and see how hectic these starts of these races are as the green flag is out. JC, talk us through this start here on this race.
It's tough. You're pushing and shoving. You want to be locked bumpers and just find some running room. You can see it's 3 wide already. 22 on the inside. We got the meat in the middle there. That's the worst spot to be. You're just trying to keep your nose clean and not get pinched into the wall. So it's tough until it gets sorted out. You find some clean running room, get some air on your nose, and start hitting your marks.
Yeah, you know, he likes his carts like I like my women, a little bit loose. So
Sandmeyer just
jumping
dropped
left rears, bro.
Sandmeyer knocked him off of him, dropping a Macho Man elbow on the front of his cart. And it sucks for him because I'm not sure if he's got a flat or what. It's going to bring out the caution. He literally just turned around and said, "Get off of me," and dropped an elbow on that thing, and there it went. Sucks for him that his night's over that early as we go back green. Adam Welsh leading this field, and Levi Hurley in third, Showalter in fourth. And man, we've got a star-studded line.
Adam Welsh up front one more time, the better Welch of the group.
Wow, that was a horrible slider that Rout just tried to pull. He tried to gain 7 spots and lost 10 on that slider. My goodness. I couldn't let that one go.
That was like DNQ highlights. That was the most DNQ slider I've seen in a while. That was J Main slider. So we go back up front right now. Bad Kitty Adam Welsh in a very familiar spot. It makes me wonder, will that thing even work without clean air? Because that's all it's ever seen.
That's the argument against some of the top tier equipment. They're so used to being out front. They're tuned for maximum downforce. You get 4, 5, 6 carts back in that dirty air, and that front loses its bite as we're 3 wide coming off the 2. And all of a sudden, you're back in the shit, and you can't do anything. James Stanley there in the 22, he's a powerhouse. He's a great driver, basically a phantom factory guy, if you want to call it that. And even he's struggling running, third or fourth or whatever it is right now. Those SKE guys, man, they got their shit trimmed out. They're running well.
Yeah, I mean, he's the jack-off working the desk, taking your money, so I'd say he's Phantom Factory if anybody else is. But they need to step up their game. These SKE boys, they've got the experience. They're making custom shit. They're doing the R&D in the depot. They're putting in the time, and it's paying off for sure.
We see a lot of treaded tires. I mean, we're kind of one of the first innovators to really start harping into the treaded tire racing, and I'm no Phantom. If they're any good business people, they're going to want to take your money by building chassis classified and specified for treaded tire racing, as SKE has done as well, as they are at the front of this field. Brad Lyon, new name here to DNQ, and he's been doing a pretty good job here in the Cup Series now that he has a receiver.
He's in front of Stroop, so he's doing something right.
Yeah, that's for sure, but the typical guys still out in front. That SKE group, they come with a big ass hauler now. All their DNQ winnings, they were able to upgrade their shit. Who is that? Which number 71? Who's driving that 71?
Kyle Beatty is in the silver 71.
Okay, well that doesn't make it any easier.
The yellow gloves
Cut me some slack.
Yeah. Yellow gloves is the Bad Kitty.
Got it. Okay. Well, at least he has gloves because most of these people in DNQ don't.
Yeah, like Stroop, who's a past champion in 5th.
Yeah.
James Stanley up to 2nd right now as he's trying to pass Adam Welsh, or at least get to his bumper to make something happen. Wide entry there, JZ, but really good runoff.
Yeah, he gets that car pitched and starts driving straight sooner than anyone else. Puts that power to the ground and gets a great shot off the corners. They're in lap traffic. This is a game changer for the race, folks. But grab your beer. Stanley to the inside of the Bad Kitty. Bad Kitty throws it on the high side. As there 5 to go, yellow comes out.
Damn, we got to stop throwing these 5 to goes. It's ruining the race. Here we go. Welsh, the leader. Brad Lyon. Stanley down to block. Now he's opened the door. 3 wide gets a hell of a shove from Stroop. That was a push.
Lyons is out P1. The surprise, he gets a shot from Stanley.
Oh,
Stanley
God.
turns left, throws a blinker on down to turn 4. So we got one around on the front stretch.
The Bad Kitty goes for a spin. Let's look at this again. How did this happen?
Well, Lyons drove it until he saw Jesus and cut across 4 lanes of traffic. So that stacked up the field, and then it looks like, yeah, Bad Kitty just in the wrong spot at the wrong time, got sent around. We're going to go back under green. Lyons chose the outside that time, Stanley to the inside. Which lane has more momentum? That's the outside. The inside lane gets a little bit disheveled. That's going to put Stanley back in the second. Mark Lyons, he's got 2-3 car lengths now out front.
Seems like black and yellow is a pretty popular color here in DNQ as Rout does his 15-cart slider. And actually worked. He got hit in the bumper, but Brad Lyon out to the lead with only 2 laps to go. He may get his first Cup Series win. Never mind. Adam Welsh around once again. The Bad Kitty got them claws out.
Did he tell anybody to suck it?
No.
Missed that.
No suckets. We'll see if Brad Lyon
He had to
chose
go
the
to
top.
anger management training. Yeah.
Brad Lyon chose the top here, which is very interesting, Jay-Z. There's only a few laps left. See if Stanley can get him.
Yeah, he didn't get a good run, but the 2-car Stroop tries to give him a shot. Stanley gains the position coming up from 4, closes the door as the white flag flies.
Stanley gets the run off of 2, which was amazing. Gets him shot out to the lead. Stroop's not going to get to him. Stanley's going to take the win.
Hell of a race.
James Stanley here, subbing for Chris Bailey to get him points. Man, that was a wild one. You even got the finger point of doom from Adam Welch there.
Yeah, it was just a racing deal, you know. I didn't realize he was even beside me and kind of got shoved, you know, racing for the win, you know. It was coming down late in the race, just going for it. Yeah, I mean, I apologize to him. I didn't want him to post anybody in the wall, so just one of them deals.
Talk about that last restart, man. You work the inside, move him out of the way, tries to go back in. What a cluster there on that last restart.
Yeah, so I kind of got lucky because he got away from me on that first one. Luckily, I got a caution, and I said, I'm not going to make that mistake again and let him get away from me. So I tried to hang on his door and kind of just slide him up out of the groove a little bit so I can get some of that grip that's kind of in the middle of the track. And, you know, I just kind of stayed on his door and didn't really, like, you know, run him up the track. Just kind of stayed on his door, and it just ended up working where I could get ahead of him enough.
I don't know if y'all can see this, but he is smoking literally on top of his head. That shows how hot this man is. James Stanley, winner of the Cup Series here tonight at DNQ. Well, Nick Stroop, the modified ace, put some fenders on a go-kart and wheeled it to a second-place finish.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Man, I wanted to rack up them wins in the Cup Series, but I kind of thank Mark Ellis for letting me ride his go-kart tonight. I was a little rusty in qualifying. I don't know what happened there, but got my groove about lap 10 or so, and I really started reeling them in, and just kind of getting better and better. But I wish I could have helped him out a little bit more in points. I just heard that Bailey got the win here, so they're going to have a heck of a battle coming to last race, but I won't be here to help him anymore, so I hope he gets it figured out.
That's why you bring your own cart and just screw everybody up.
Oh, well, I'll be out of town, so I'll be drinking cold beer.
The modified man won't run around here, but he'll go to Minnesota to run a USMTS. Brandon Lyon, man, we all watched you come from the back. The cart's damn brighter than my future. But, man, talk about that race in that last restart. That was about calamity.
Man, it was crazy. We, coming, I chose the outside twice, and probably shouldn't have done that the second time, but, it was a crazy finish. People were pushing me from the back. I was hoping to get back on the inside coming into one here, and it just wasn't enough to get back around him. So, but we did good tonight. You know, this cart, honestly, we pulled it out of the shed probably 2 months ago. We had put it on scales and put some tires on. That's pretty much about it, and it's been running up front ever since. So it's doing good.
DNQ, you can pull a shit box out of the shed and put it on the podium. Brandon Lyon, third place finish here with the Cup Series.
SRI Pole Award, Jeremy Murphy, 13.043, and he's driving for Faulkner tonight. So he's in some better equipment. He's going to start on the pole for a national championship race 2 with Eric Yost, the outside pole.
Rover 2, Thomas Back-Markham and Brian Shaw.
La Cunada in the gold 2 and Ayers in the 71.
Allison and Ben Murphy.
Zach Smith, the Rose Beast.
the Kidwells.
There you go. By the way, Beef Tips Motorsports, Ben Murphy. Beef Tips has hats. So if any of you are interested in a BTM hat, I don't know why that's funny to me, but Beef Tips Motorsports, if you need a hat, they're selling them. Anybody else got...
Is Damian Jinx related to the Bulldog?
No, but they look it. They look very close.
They're fucking cousins.
I'm sure he'll tell you a long story or something. You got time to listen to.
Don't go ask him how his day's going.
Yeah. Don't you love a long story? All right, give us a short story, Bulldog. I remember it's Stevens. My brother said that to him one time, and he was like, "Shut up." Thomas Markham, in-cart camera, doing a great job. I mean, we did not invert. This is how they practice qualified today. So this is not how they started at the fair. And
I love that Spire Motorsports jacket on the front row.
Yeah, you're damn right. We are underway. The Spire Motorsports machine, the 53. It's just Jeremy Murphy's night, man. Jeremy Murphy has not done well at all this year. He's struggled. Starting to get a little bit better. But once he gets, it's like Brad Keselowski getting in a good car. As Lasagna, just letting him eat that right side, it's going to cost him a couple spots.
Come on, Lasagna. Get your shit together. You were good earlier.
Yeah, our DraftKings for tonight is getting out of control for this bottle of whiskey that we're battling against here. Is John Kidwell in the middle of the pack there as well, and Anthony Kidwell, Murphy. A lot of these guys are, just doing all they can to survive. Let's go double fisting on board here with Thomas Markham looking at the top three.
Yost is doing all he can there to try to get by Jeremy Murphy, but Murphy's Murphy hits the wall on his own, opens up the door for Yost. Yost throws it down the inside, and he clears them, barely coming off of floor. We have a new leader.
Thomas back Markham goes to the inside, but he's also got Murphy to the inside of him. He's skiing right now in the middle, but back Markham able to hold on to that second spot. Yost holds on to the top spot. Let's see if he can make it down the straightaway without hitting the wall by himself.
Gotta love when those exhaust pipes glow here on a Predator race, and it's pretty funny to watch as Markham feeds the right front to the left rear, and that opens the door for Murphy. And don't look now, Ben Murphy's coming as well. It's about to be a Murphy party.
Got to be a Murphy pun in there somewhere, but I missed the opportunity as Ayers slams the door on him as the top three. I got a couple kart lengths over Ayers, but Ayers gets a good run into three. He's right there fighting for the lead. He's on Murphy's back bumper.
Yeah, Thomas back Markham not living up to his name at all for a change, and that's great scenery for him. He's got that clean air. He could poke that left front out, get a little bit of downforce on that fender. That's what he's trying to do, get to the inside of Yost right now, but Yost with a little bit of momentum on the top side is able to pull back 2-3 car lengths on him as we got one around in turn number 2.
Johnny Kidwell goes for a spin. That'll re-rack the field. To be interesting to see what happens here as Yost and Markham are on the outside. Lasagna takes the bottom and second row. Has her back green, and Murphy gets fed the left rear from Lasagna, and now we've got a shitstorm back here.
Lasagna makes his way up onto the podium. He takes that second spot away. Now he's going to try to track down Eric Yost, but not for long as he's got pressure on the inside of him.
Double fisting here. You're watching it live. Thomas Markham went from the penthouse to the shithouse really quick, and now he's in a tough break. I mean, man, he was having such a good night. And, Jay-Z, you see it right there. How quick things can change here in D&Q.
Yeah, you get in that tight group there. You're trying to worry about who's on your left front, your right rear, and you're not watching two rows in front of you. But when that happens in the middle of the corner like that in a narrow line like tonight, you got nowhere to go as someone hops the left rear. Ayers hops the left rear, and everyone just piles in.
Yeah, it's a tough break. I mean, there's nowhere to go. I mean, you're standing in the gas, you can't lift, and these guys are all piled up, and tough break for Brandon Conner involved in that as well. Look at it again. And, you can't even see that. That's last minute, Tough break.
Yeah, nothing you can do.
Been a part of many of those wrecks. All right, Lasagna now on the front row here for this restart. Eric Yost, Chris Allison, who claimed an engine and had the exhaust cut out of it, as we found in tech. So he's illegal, but he's out here racing. We didn't know it at the time. He's towards the front, so that's what performance-enhancing engines do to you.
Speaking of which, yeah, Alex Lasagna really got his program turned around. I know that he got a heavy talking to at the fair because there was a bottle of whiskey on the line for it. Maybe a little bit of help, but that's somebody who's really turned the program around. Ran midfield to the back as we got our 5-yard caution. And now he's running up, trying to get a podium spot out of this. Tire guy by trade. It makes one think. Has he touched the tires here in the D&Q series, which we know is illegal?
Well, I'm sure we'll find out by the end of the night. Is Ben Murphy in that Beef Tips Motorsports machine up towards the top 5? And wow, man, we've got one go around. That's Ray Thies. He was having such a good run, too. And here in the National Championship, you got to be the best out of everybody to win this championship. As Chris Allison's leading, we know what he's got going on. The real win is between Yost Lasagna. Here comes Brian Shaw, we haven't talked about in a while.
No, he's holding tough on the inside, which has really been slow tonight. The people on the outside have been carrying way more momentum, and he gets crossed up. He's fallen into the clutches of Ben Murphy and one of the Kidwells there. Kidwell, nice recovery after that spin.
Absolutely, the battle right. One more lap to go. This is the race for the win we're watching right here. That's Lasagna and Yost. Lasagna hanging tough on the inside there. Let's see if he can get a bomb. Can't see out.
Let's go, man.
Minimum second place finish, man. You led some of that race, but couldn't get a job done, bud.
Man, it was almost there. Yeah, we the best run by far we've had. Finally getting to handle this the new Recon and all. But it was a good race. I liked it.
Well, you didn't turn nothing up, so you don't have to come see me at SRI tomorrow, but still a good run. You got to go for next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Big Yost, second place finish.
Go for it.
Well, Alex, I got it right this time. You did end up third in this race. Talk about it, buddy. You was really battling there for the lead.
Yeah, it was an awesome race. Fell back there early, just a crappy start, and got back up there. These guys are hard-nosed, and that was good hard racing. Nobody got butthurt tonight, and it was a blast all night. So just got to thank Chris Lawson for all his help, and Sheldon Creed, kart owner, Zane Smith, my buddy Troy Davis, and all the boys back at the shop. They worked hard for this one tonight. So.
Alex, third place finish. Lasagna, 2 podiums. That's pretty good.
All right, well, let's take a look at points heading into the season finale. And Chris Bailey has a 24-point lead over Mike Rout, which is possible to have that been lost. All Rout has to do is win the race, and he gets 20 right off the bat.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, though. I mean, Chris Bailey is sneaky good every single week. Mike Rout also very good, but Chris Bailey hardly ever has those very bad days.
We'll have to see. We got Welch and Showalter, who are perennial challengers. They can go in there and mess with the top 5. They're a little too far out to get the championship, but they could easily ruin someone else's night by stealing that top spot.
Be interesting to see how that Cup Series plays out. Dash Series, there is a double points event at the final race. Showalter's got the lead right now. Ayers would have to win that and then have Showalter have a really bad night. But looks like it's all Showalter heading into the final.
Blind Ryan Ayers, Red Good, Chris Britt, Campolonia. Chris Britt up there on the podium. That's a good run for him.
Yeah, not too shabby. Campolonia pretty good. Donahue, we called his name a little bit tonight. He's there in top 2. He showed some speed in several classes. He just doesn't have the results to go along with it. Hopefully he can come back strong in 2023 here and get some damage.
Fit Stop Performance USAC Series. This is going to come down to the battle of the brother-in-laws, Beatty and Welsh. Welsh down 12. Anything's possible going into that last race.
Yeah, but Kyle Beatty, he's going to take home the money no matter what. He's the owner of both those cars, so gotta love it for him. They definitely deserve these. If they do take home the championship, definitely deserve it. They were in class field. all season long. Mike Connerino came back up there at the end. Great story for him.
Yeah, Connerino's very appropriately third right there, 141 back. And then we've got Melton and Kidwell. Melton's been a long-time DNQ competitor, very consistent, just lacking the outright pace those SKE chassis have. Maybe he'll make some phone calls and make a deal in the offseason and show up with some shiny piece of SKE equipment next year. And then Kidwell, we know he's capable of winning every single week. It's just been tough to catch those SKE boys.
Let's take a look at the Arca Series points. Like we had talked about, these are the guys outside the top 10. J.R. Norris had a good run here tonight, and we got a double feature coming up here in the last race of the season, so it's anyone's game really still in this series.
Yeah, very exciting series to watch, especially because there's so many NDFs. It's like watching the Truck Series or watching the Xfinity Series. I mean, you never know who is going to show their behind.
Yeah, and with the double points feature, Sauls is really not out of it. If Norris and Teasley have bad luck in both features, it's mathematically possible that he could steal this championship from him.
Be interesting to watch that last race of the season. Well, here we go. This is the big one, the National Championship, and right now Alex Lacanada via Tech has got 2 victories under his belt, and that has opened up a margin between Kidwell's that probably gonna be pretty tough to make up heading into the final race.
Definitely didn't see that one coming. He's run mid-pack all year. Really got his act together here at the end and snuck some wins out of it just simply by not cheating. Really paid off. The Kidwell brothers, though, those were 2 that I definitely would have put money on winning the championship. And they're both up there, but neither one of them, Alex Lasagna, he's got the daddy good.
Yeah. And we got guys like Stroop that are perennial powerhouses that have just not had the speed this year compared to people like La Canada after that pep talk at the fair race, and the Kidwells really stepping up their game this year. So we'll see how the final race pans out, as he's got a pretty commanding lead.
Yeah, and just as well as I do, when it comes playoff time, you just got to be the best in that time. And that's exactly what we were seeing right here with Alex Lasagna and even the Kidwells. I mean, Zach Stroop's, very far shot, but you just got to be the best at those last 3 races, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Absolutely. It's a do-or-die time here with just 3 races. It's a must-win situation for every single driver out there. I'm excited to see the intensity and the drama of the last couple of races here at the DNP season.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us here on YouTube and in the booth, and we'll see you guys here at the Hoosier Fall Final. I can't wait to see how all the championships play out. Will there be somebody who makes an upset run to win a championship, or will it be some adversity? It's going to be pretty exciting to watch.
Absolutely, I can't wait. That's one of the best races all year. I'm definitely going to be there for that. If you got a go-kart and the seasons are going to be over, all of the other racing series, so you've got no excuse. Make it out here. See if you can make the A-Main. These races are getting more and more prestigious and harder to make it, so you can definitely brag to your buddies. And you know what? If you don't make it, stick around, drink beer, go to the bar afterwards. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what happens in the tech shed. Guys are going to be pushing the envelope with these engines, with these tires, trying different shit to make sure they get to that big check at the end of the season. So just because the race is over the track doesn't mean the drama's done. Stick around after the races, drink some beer, and you'll see what happens.
Can't wait to see it. We'll see you guys at the last race of the season. For Jay-Z and Bill, I'm Bob Duato, and we'll see you at the Fall Final.